board and others in other organizations are involved and consider participating. There's no cost. I mean, it costs CIC to produce it, but it doesn't cost you anything to participate in it. So, something I'd recommend. Second thing, also on leadership, they're fogging up. Yesterday was the deadline for applying for leadership awards for the leadership gala. So I talked to someone who's working on that today, and I said, well, how that, I'm wondering, like in the times of COVID, how does that work? There were 1,006 completed nominations and applications for awards. It blew my mind. So I mean, part of what that tells me is that the work of student leadership continues regardless of the challenges we're facing day to day. So that I was just so encouraged by that. And my guess is that any number of you are either nominees or have applied. And if you have, thank you. And it's just, that in and of itself is a testament to student leadership here on campus. Third thing, and I'm not going to be the best person to answer questions about this, but I hope you noticed the update from Dr. Gilly Nice about COVID circumstances on campus. And I'll tell you, I mean, as a member of the community, I read it and was encouraged by it. As she sort of discussed downturns in cases and how we might be able to begin moving to some refined protocols in the near future. So that, if you've not seen it, I encourage you to go online and take a peek at that. Final thing I wanted to talk about is really more of the news item. And that is, that in addition to Dr. Jenny Holt-Jones having left and Patty McSteen, Dr. McSteen, who was sitting in that seat at last week's GBM, is sitting tonight in New York City in an empty apartment, I would say. I saw the box that had her Casper mattress in it. She sent me a picture of it, but it was in a box. So she's there. She's going to still be working from home starting tomorrow and then through next week. So we have advantage of her counsel during our transition. But because of that, we have to put together a plan of how to staff the student's office. And so I announced today to staff in the division, and I spoke yesterday with the executives of the Student Senate. I asked Kathy Paul, who is the current associate dean, and currently works with the Margaret Boyd Scholars Program, to serve as interim dean of students, effective with Patty's last day, which is next week. She's been totally agreeable to doing that. She's excited about the opportunity, and she is, here's how I would describe it. She's been a quietly effective person working in the shadow of two very big personalities who have been here for a long time. And I am confident that she is going to shine in this role moving forward. So she's in place, she's ready to go. Second announcement we made relative to that was that Dr. Kim Rouse, who directs the Survivor Advocacy Program, will assume the role of acting assistant dean or interim assistant dean. And so she'll take on some additional responsibilities. She'll still run SAP, and she'll take on some of those. And then two other assistant deans will each take on some additional responsibilities. Taylor Tackett at Community Standards, and Chad Barnhart, who is currently the assistant dean in the Office of the Dean of Students, who is going to take on the role of being sort of the direct advisor to Student Senate. So he'll be working with Nate and meeting with the execs weekly and providing whatever degree of support and guidance he can to the process. And he'll be sort of the go-to first responder. How's that? things that are student-centered matters that we can help with sometimes. So Chad had a prior commitment. He just found out officially yesterday he's going to do this new responsibility. He had a prior commitment for tonight. He'll be here starting next week. And he and the new dean of students and myself and the executives have a meeting set for sometime soon. I'm not remember exactly when, but we will all get together for sort of a kickoff of our new set of relationships going forward. So that's sort of the news piece of it. So with that said, and the other thing, any questions you have or things I can try to help you with?
Questions? Sorry, I didn't ask. Questions. Can you repeat it? I apologize.
No, that's fine.
Oh, I apologize.
That's all I have for tonight. Here's one thing I would suggest, two things for you or for our Madam President or the others. Inviting Kathy Fall, the new dean, might be a good one for her to have an introductory time with the Senate and share a bit more about her background, her experience, her goals and visions for the Dean of Students Office. And second, know that I've got a set of questions I'm working on that I've gotten from the execs already about issues that have come up either through your conversations or their own conversations. And my goal is to be responsive to those. And I've already said, in the spirit of trying to respond quickly, I've said, don't know, don't know, don't know. But I'm going to work on it, the answers, and get that information back to them. And that's a channel that is always open in my life.
Yeah, I was just going to say that I'm actually seeing Kathy tomorrow, so I can give her a personal invite if you want to.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Good idea.
I also had a quick question. I was wondering if you could share with the Senate body, like, what your goals in this new, like, Vice President of Student Affairs position, or like, what your goals and values are for students that you want to bring to this.
Thank you for that. Well, I'll keep this part short, but I went to Ohio University as a student, and when I came here, I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I got a degree in a certain field, but I wasn't really, like I was 3/4 of the way through, and I said, well, I'm not going to work in this field, but I'll finish the degree. And I came out of my undergraduate experience and had had a great I had good experience in the classroom. I don't want to discount that, but it turned out that wasn't my real career interest, and I was very involved outside the classroom in the ways that made me are. And I ended up realizing that the work I'm doing today was work I could do as a career. And though I didn't know what I wanted to do exactly, I knew I wanted to do something that was important. And what I have found in working with college students every day since is, A, it's important work. You all, in the course of pursuing your education, deserve all the support we can muster to help you to be successful. So my mission is to help students succeed. And I would say I do it with my colleagues. It's we, because no one of us does it alone, including students and us. Help, because we don't do for students, right? We nurture, we prod, we support, we help. We don't do for you. Students are the focus. That's why we're here. That's why the entire university is here. It's not, I mean, this university has other, it has research and creating new knowledge, and there are other dimensions of its mission, but it all starts with students. And succeed. I use a broad definition of success. I'm open to you defining for yourself what success is. And once you define it, if it's you want a job, you want to go to grad school, you want to change the world, our role is to help you achieve that goal that you set for yourself. So that's sort of where I come from philosophically. And I guess I work practically every day to make sure that the things we're doing as a set of university departments contribute to that in some way. They all do a little bit different, but they all contribute to the same.
Any more questions?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
President Yvonne. Present. Vice President Turtle. Present. Treasurer Colcott. Proxy. Commissioner DeMonte. Senator Cornelison.
President.
Senator Goodman. Commissioner Robinson.
Present.
Senator Blake. Present. Commissioner Bocasio.
Proxy.
Commissioner Pennington.
Present.
Commissioner Gillette.
Present.
Senator Stark.
Present.
Commissioner Cooley.
Present.
Senator Peters.
Here.
Commissioner Handle.
Here.
Commissioner BH.
Here.
Senator Kless. Senator Gamondo. We have four.
Thank you. Moving forward, are there any additions to the agenda? Motion to add Senate Resolution 21-2255 and Resolution 21-2256 to the agenda. Moving and seconded to add Senate Resolution 21-2255 and Resolution 21-2256 to the agenda. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. Are there any abstentions?
Present.
Motion passed. On to approval of the previous meeting minutes. Is there any discussion on previous meeting minutes? You need to vote on previous meeting minutes. Moving and seconded to vote on previous meeting minutes. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say nay. Are there any abstentions? Minutes approved. The old business, we did have a legislation tabled last week indefinitely, but it has since been removed from the table by the permanent sponsors in order to introduce an amended version moving forward to new business. First up, we have Senate Resolution 21-2253, a resolution to appoint a chairperson to the Committee on Members of Maritime. Whereas there is a student senate at Ohio University, and whereas the rules and procedures state in 8.09 subsection A that there shall be a committee on the members of meritocracy of the student senate to consider recommendations to the senate of those members who shall be granted a meritocracy status in order to honor those persons who have served senate and their constituents above and beyond the call of duty. And whereas the rules and procedures in 8.09 subsection B states that there shall be a standing committee on members of meritocracy which shall consider recommendations to Senate of those members who shall be granted a meritocracy status. Chairperson of the committee shall be appointed by a majority of the executive officers. The committee shall be composed of the advisor of the Senate, members of meritocracy, and other interested senators who are not eligible for the distinction. There shall be no fewer than 5 and not more than 7 members on the committee. And whereas the executive officers discussed and agreed on, be it resolved that Emily Erdl be appointed as chairperson to the committee on the members of maritime for the 2021-2022 academic year. Be it further resolved this appointment be effective immediately. Permanent sponsored Vice President Erdl.
Yes. I know last week when we voted to appoint Director Erdl as the chairperson of the senior honors committee on the senior honors, there was some concern about whether or not Director Erdl could sit as a chairperson on the committee on members of maritime. Per the RFP, it's only the senators that on the committee
who cannot be eligible for that distinction. It has been approved by the judicial panel, and they interpreted the rules and procedures that way. Additionally, I think Director Ergel would do fantastic in this role, and I'm really excited to see what the rest of the year. And with that, I reserve my time.
Secretary, Sponsor, President Vaughn. I'd like to echo everything Vice President Farrell has said. I know Director Earl will treat this position with the respect necessary for the chairperson of the board, and I reserve the rest of my time. Is there any discussion on this resolution? Do I hear a vote? Second. It's been moved and seconded to vote on Senate Resolution 21-2253. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay.
Nay.
Are there any abstentions? Okay, resolution passes. Senate Resolution 21-2254, a resolution to purchase two bags for tabling to recruit and computer grievances. Whereas the Ohio University Student Senate Rules and Procedures requires there to be a committee on the budget. And whereas the committee on the budget met with quorum to discuss Ohio University Student Senate budget. And whereas the committee approved the budget below, and so be it resolved that Ohio University Student Senate confirms the requested budget amount below. And it's a 48 pack of variety. It's a variety pack of 48 ski bags at $14.99, and ordered 10 of those packs for $149.50. Primary sponsor, Chairperson Given.
Yeah, so we just want to encourage people to share things that they're concerned about, like ski with university. But also like the ski that we don't use can be in the office for us to use, and upon reviewing of the budget application, the committee reports that has met all of the criteria outlined for approval.
Secondary sponsor, President Young. This is for the table we have been talking about for a couple of weeks here, and all the tables are reserved already. And it starts this Monday, and I'll touch on this a little bit more in my report. But basically, I figured a variety pack would be best, and discussed amongst the leadership team of an appropriate amount to order, because we're planning to put 28 hours into tabling. For the rest of the semester, we can do more too if you guys want to, but so it seemed to make sense to just order all of them at once. And I'm really excited about this chance to do grievances and possibly recruit more members. I reserve the rest of my time. Is there any discussion on the resolution? Second. Been moved and seconded to vote on resolution 21-2254. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. Are there any abstentions? Okay, resolution passes. Next, you have Senate Resolution 21-2255, a resolution to cancel GBM on March 2nd, 2022. Whereas the Ohio University Student Senate is the governing body of the university, and whereas the Ohio University Student Senate has consistent work to discuss, and whereas the Ohio University Student Senate meets weekly on Wednesdays at 7:15 p.m. while classes are in session, and whereas at the discretion of the Ohio University Student Senate executive officers and with 2/3 majority vote per Rules and Procedures section 10.03 subsection A, the time and date of a future meeting may be altered. And whereas the Ohio University Student Senate executive officers, chief of staff, and director of public relations have planned the semesterly town hall during the usual Wednesday meeting time to ensure that all general body meeting members are present on March 2nd, 2022 at 7:15 p.m. Be it resolved that Ohio University Student Senate General Body meeting will be canceled on Wednesday, March 2nd, 2022 at 7:15 p.m. And be it further resolved, the attendance requirement for the General Body meeting for March 2nd, 2022 will be replaced by the attendance requirement for the Town Hall on said date. Primary sponsor, Director Earl.
Thank you. Last week, when I presented Resolution 21-2251, the assumption was that everyone has a busy schedule, and since it's our typical meeting time, all will be available. I myself am the most available at this time and am required to be there and host for its entirety, given I made myself the primary contact person in confirming the availability of 14 special guests. Obviously, we already have this room reserved for Walter. However, I went ahead and reserved a larger room and scoot over from 7 to 10 p.m. because I'm expecting you all to make this big. This is what we make of it, and that includes how you present this event to your constituents. After a few weeks of planning, I've come up with some interactive ideas for you to be able to network with those in attendance, and a chance for anyone who has announcements to present them at this event, given a week's notice since I will need advocacy response in order. The purpose of the town hall is for student senate to demonstrate to their constituents the inner workings of Senate and the relationship between student senate and the administrators of Ohio University. The intended agenda is for student senate executive officers and representatives to formally address their constituents, provide announcements, participate in networking activities, and provide information on upcoming Senate related events. Taking what we have learned and experienced in the past, when we hosted guest speaker Dr. Ice, we had virtual attendance of 85. Once Dr. Ice finished speaking, almost all the students in attendance logged off without staying for announcements and witnessing the Senate meeting. If the goal is to provide a safe space for advocacy to our peers and meet them where they are, and in turn, hopefully understand our relationship as liaison between students and administration, we're placing a general body meeting with the town hall on March 2nd at 7:15 p.m. will be most beneficial to us as us all as their representatives and as students of Honorary University. Thank you for announcing the funds for the town.
Thank you. Primary sponsor, Vice President Earl. Before I begin my little speech, I do want to say during any discussion, I want everyone to remember that it's important to listen to understand, not just to listen to respond. Everyone has very important things to say, and I want to make sure that everyone's hearing everything. With that being said, I want to echo everything that Director Earl has said about the resolution. After last week's GBM, I've met one-on-one with all of the commissioners, and I've asked them how they were reaching out to students. The most common responses were either their classes or by not through active outreach, but by being a silent observer. Although this is helpful, it's not nearly a wide enough scope of students. I'm happy that these are attempts are being made, but I think that we are capable of a lot more. We are leaders on this campus, and we owe it to students to truly reach out to them and ensure that they are being heard. This town hall will provide everyone with that opportunity and action that I know you all can do. Think of a presidential election or even like a city council election. They all hold town halls. You would not be happy with a candidate or an elected official not responding to your letters or actually physically meeting with the public. This is the same kind of idea. Director Earl is an extremely talented PR director, and you all wanted to see more from her in your evals last semester, so I urge you all to give her the opportunity to show you her talents. I promise you will not be disappointed. With that, I reserve the rest of my time. Thank you. Secretary Sponsor, Chief Secretary.
The point of this resolution is to cancel a GBM and host a town hall, period. It is not any other underlying meetings or anything else. It is to cancel a GBM and host a town hall. I understand that wanting to present legislation is extremely important to this body, and I echo that immensely. Legislation is one of the key factors for Ohio University Student Senate. I encourage you, since we are planning this event an entire month beforehand, to reach out to those individuals who you would like to sponsor, co-sponsor these legislations, and plan ahead to present them either the week before or week after this GBM. We want to host this town hall this night and have all of our constituents bring up important issues. As you've already heard, people are coming. We will get to the list in a moment. This is also the only night that we can have this event and have all of you knowing that you have this night available and having all of our executive staff and executive team there as well. We will be able to present everything we would in the regular GBM except for passing legislation. If the idea of a potential new legislation is the whole purpose of holding you back from voting yes on this legislation, I encourage you to look at the previous years of Senate. We have reached in the hundreds with legislation, and we haven't even come close yet this year. We would only hurt the student body to not pass this legislation and not help it. The only reason why we want this event to happen at this time is, according to the RMP, we have to start at 7:15 p.m. on Wednesdays, unless legislation is presented like this. We cannot start the town hall before the GBM for fear that we would cut our constituents off, or have it after because we are unsure how long these meetings will last. This is one meeting out of 10 that we have left, and that is not including if we were to cancel this GBM. So we would have 10 if we were to also remove this this GBM. So again, I encourage you to all vote yes on this legislation and to help us hear our constituents out. And with that, I reserve the balance of my time.
Thank you. Secondary sponsor, President Vaughn. I'd first like to echo everything that has been said. Next, in regards to the concern brought up in discussion on this resolution last week, this is not an event hosted nor planned by the Leadership Development Committee, meaning we did not need their committee to be included in making the town hall required as an in-service. As brought up in last week's discussion, we need to get people here. And we need to have all of you here to directly hear from your constituents and learn how to support them better. For example, at our last town hall, Commissioner Robinson came and heard out her constituents, and today we sat down and scheduled a meeting to do something about their concerns after hearing back from our police sources this morning asking us to meet. Like Vice President Tartle said, it's become clear that we are not seeing efforts to meet your constituents and hear from them outside of their usual schedule. It is great to hear that you all listen to your peers in class, but what other efforts are you making? That's the entire point of your position. Having the town hall during the time we usually have a GPM is meant for us to help you all have an organized way to do so, and we know that you're available on Wednesdays at 7:15 p.m., so please help us help you. I've also been made aware of members practically negotiating along the lines of if you invite so-and-so with the primary sponsors on this resolution in order to gain their vote. I'm telling you right now, cut it out. That is entirely out of line and disrespectful. Director Ertl did her diligence in inviting big names at OU and within the community and has covered her bases. There are 14 invited guests, not including exec or our members. This is purely legislation on canceling the GPM with the intent of the town hall. If there are aspects you would like to see happen, reach out to Director Ertl and ask to be part of the planning it, rather than sending the sponsors on this resolution terms and conditions for your vote. If there are strong emotions about still holding the GPM that week, I encourage you to write legislation to hold that week's GPM on a different night. I would love to still meet. I'll be expecting good content for that agenda in that case. And with that, I reserve the balance of my time. Secondary sponsor, Treasurer Colcat.
So Treasurer Colcat didn't exactly give me a full thing of what she would like to say for this legislation, but she said, I am 100% supporting this. So she would definitely echo every single thing that's already been said. And with that, I reserve the balance of Treasurer Colcat's time.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on this resolution?
Madam President, point of inquiry, what guests were invited / have actually confirmed the attending? I heard someone say that we were going through that list.
Yeah, I'll look for that. Director Ertl.
The special guests who have been invited are as follows. President Dr. Hugh Sherman, Executive VP and Provost Dr. Elizabeth Sayers, confirmed guest Special Assistant to the President for Public Health Operations Dr. Billy Nice, confirmed guest Director of Case Management and COVID Response Operations Lisa Van Herbert, confirmed guest Director of Counseling and Psychological Services Dr. Paul Pasolino, Interim Vice President for Student Affairs Dr. Hogan, confirmed guest Faculty Senate Chairperson Dr. Robin Muhammad, confirmed guest Interim Vice President of Finance and Administration Joe Treebox, confirmed guest Chief of Police Andrew Powers, confirmed guest Fire Chief Robert Reimer, confirmed guest Athens Mayor Steve Patterson, Graduate Student Senate Executive Officers President Joseph Elkhine Kofi Northleaf, Vice President Remington Burwell, and Treasurer Charlotte May.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion on this resolution? Oh, sorry, Commissioner Cooley, and then we'll go to.
Yes, I personally want to say that I fully support the intent behind this bill. In the future, I would like to see some full discussion on this with all members of Senate before legislation is introduced. I know I was very caught off guard by this, and as you know, Pride Week is coming up, which is a very busy time for the LGBTQA+ Affairs Commission. There are lots of moving parts that need to be in place for Pride Week before we can pass budget, especially right now during the COVID-19 pandemic, where we are constantly getting new information about what is allowed and what is not allowed. As such, as it is right now, if this bill were to pass, my commission would have about 2 weeks to be able to finalize everything that we need to finalize in order to make sure that the budget committee can review any budgets that we have, that we may need to have, and then to present those to the general body meeting. And so I think in the future, I would like to see a lot more discussion, and so we can make sure that not only will it fit into all of our schedules, but it is also taking into account how much time we have before any major events that any of the commissions or senators have coming up as well. And it was just about my time.
Commissioner Toledo was generally constructive, and I appreciate that. Next, Senator Goodman.
Yeah, I just wanted to echo that, and I think part of the confusion, especially on my end, was that it was an addition to the agenda, so we didn't have the full amount of time to ask questions or get to know what was going on. But I want to second that I think it's very helpful to know who was going to be there, because I thought it was just going to be optional, that's why I was confused, because I didn't know this. I would also ask that maybe, I don't know if we have invited the deans of each of the colleges, but I think that they can add something to the conversation. To share with everyone, I did reach out to Director Earl. We have these like Tumblr cups in the office, and I was thinking that when students come to talk to us about their issues, they would write their name on a piece of paper, and we'd put into like a fish bowl, and we'd give away like 50 or so many of them, but just to kind of give some type of incentive to coming on top of being able to have us address their issues, and I was
You know, I like the Tumblr idea, and to refer back to Director Ertle's list, Provost Ayers has invited us to kind of hold a position of like where those questions would be directed, instead of inviting like however many colleges and like these people to sit about the other 14. But you know, if that is something we want to see, I can refer you to Director Ertle to be a part of it. Thank you, Madam President.
I actually spoke with Commissioner Monte yesterday afternoon, and he and I discussed the possibility of all of the senators you already meet with you. So placing that invite on you guys to invite, since you already have a relationship with FD, and it's less of a one-sided interaction.
Thank you, I appreciate the collaboration. Is there any further discussion? Motion for a recorded vote. All those in favor of a recorded vote, please stand. Oh, so a recorded vote means that we will go through the roll call sheet, and you will cast your vote with your voice and say yes, no, or present, and present is the same method of stating, with more than 3 members standing in agreement with a recorded vote, it passes. So Madam Chief of Staff, will you please call the roll with recorded vote?
Yes, and I would also like to mention that stating present in place of abstention is supposed to be only used when you have a personal conflict with the resolution that is being presented. And I just like to reiterate that. Now going to Vice President Tartle.
Yay.
Treasurer Colcat. Yay. Commissioner DeMonte.
Yes.
Senator Cornelison.
No.
Senator Goodman.
Yes.
Commissioner Robinson.
Yeah.
Senator Blais.
Yeah.
Commissioner Bocasio. Also, if you don't know how your proxy, if you also don't, if you also don't, you can also say present as well. Commissioner Pennington.
Yay.
Commissioner Gillette.
Yay.
Senator Stark.
Yay.
Commissioner Cooley. Senator Peters. Commissioner Handel. Commissioner Behage. Senator Kless. And Senator Gamando.
resolution passes. Moving forward to our last piece of legislation for the night, Senate Resolution 2122-56, a resolution to appoint the College of Business Senator to the Academic Affairs Commission. Whereas there is a student senate at my university, and whereas the rules and procedures state that there shall be a senator for the College of Business within Academic Affairs Commission. And whereas there is currently a vacancy in the senator for College of Business position, and whereas applications were solicited and interviews conducted, be it resolved that Katie Hall be appointed as senator for the College of Business for the 2021-2022 academic year. And be it further resolved that this appointment be effective immediately. Primary sponsor, Commissioner DeMonte.
Thank you. Katie's interview today went terrific. I believe that she exemplified good student representation already, and she's a very great addition. Yeah, she already has some great ideas to improve the College of Business, and I believe her addition is going to be extremely valuable to the academic affairs commission.
Thank you. Secretary sponsor, President Yvonne. Katie, if you want to give like a little wave so everyone can recognize you. I would like to echo everything Commissioner DeMonte has said. Katie was incredibly impressive in her interview, and I can see her passion in many aspects of what we do in the Senate. It's clear that Katie values communication and collaboration, and I see a lot of potential in her in general and in Senate. I look forward to her being a part of the time, and I was very confident. Chief Secretary Jack.
Yeah, so we had a great interview this afternoon with Katie. I definitely learned a lot, and really a lot about the College of Business that I didn't know that there were issues about. So I'm glad that we're going to be able to introduce her hopefully into the commission, and she can get started on all of these awesome plans. I know she's going to do great things with the position, and with that, I reserve the balance.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on this resolution? Senator.
I have been trying to get Katie here for a long time. Katie tells me all the issues that she sees in the College of Business, and I think that now she has an opportunity to act on them. I work closely with Katie through the Wonderful Scholars Program and as a Scholar Scholar on a lot of different ideas and projects, and I've never seen someone with such creative ideas. I know marketing needs, but bringing new ideas to the table, being a different voice, and making sure that everybody is kind of collaborating in some way, but also being able to address the things that maybe aren't going so well. I know that she definitely is a good job.
Thank you. Is there any more discussion on this resolution? Is there a motion? It's been moved and seconded to vote on resolution 2122-56. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. Are there any exceptions? Okay, resolution passes. Moving forward to commissioner reports. Are there any commissioner reports tonight? We'll go with Commissioner Bacasio's proxy first, then Pennington, DeMonte, Lavina.
This is from Commissioner Bacasio through text. It's concerning the Environmental Justice Summit that we've been working on. We're pleased to report that we're underway in organizing it. We're working with Sam Crowell on how to host the Affairs Committee and coordinating with them on the 18th and 22nd Earth Day celebrations, respectively, and the Earth Day parade. Sam Crowell is part of the Office of Sustainability. We're also planning on having a student road trip to the Ohio University Student Farm on the 19th, and we're working out the specifics on how we would get them to that location. I've been talking with Dr. Thompson, Dr. Kim Thompson, on potentially getting a van from the Plant Biology and Environmental Department. And we're also in consultation with Kevin Smith on how environmental journalists visiting OU can give speeches for environmental topics, and journalist majors could be brought to similar events at the same time to speak to a non-journalist audience about their work with environmental.
Commissioner Pennington.
So I had a meeting with Mayor Patterson yesterday to gain some more insight into city boards and commissions. So the presentation and the
presentation guides that kind of go with that should be coming out either by the end of this week or early next week. They currently have vacancies in the Joint Police Advisory Council, Municipal Arts Commission, Recreation Advisory Board, and Shade Tree Commission. So if you are interested in that, if someone you know is interested in that, if there's a student board that would be to really align with the values of those different boards and commissions that you think would be interested, or if you have any questions about those boards and commissions, I am basically an expert at this point. So just reach out to me with any questions you have about that. I also wanted to bring to the body's attention, currently in the State House, there is a piece of legislation. It went to committee on January 25th that is going to be authorizing tax incentives for giving higher intern and graduate wages in higher education. And it makes some minor other changes regarding higher education student financial aid. So if anybody has any questions about where to find that or any questions about that legislation, feel free to reach out to me. City Council meets next Monday, I believe, and I will update you on what they talked about this week. And
Thank you. Commissioner Devon.
So the Academic Affairs Commission is currently working on a university-wide survey on education-related struggles of students. The overall goal of this survey would be to find out what OU students are most concerned about right now when it comes to academics. Responses collected will be useful for reevaluating university policies and providing new programming for academics. We would also compile a summary of responses and report to the Senate body. We hope to get the survey out within the next 2 to 3 weeks. The Commission is also in the process of contacting deans to ask for attendance at the Student Senate Town Hall in March. I send my gratitude to PR Director Hurdle for the work she is doing on this event, and all students for the entire university. Contact all your friends. Should mark their calendars for March 2nd. As for members of the Commission, they continue to review R&D independently, evaluate the actions of the university on COVID policy specifically, and we are all generating ideas for programming relating to the academic well-being of students. And that is the end of my report.
Thank you. Commissioner Lewis.
Yes, so Pride Week will be March 20th to the 26th. That Sunday, March 20th, we will be decorating either College Green or an adjacent outdoor space at Pride Place. We currently have over 500 of them representing trans, bisexual, the general rainbow flag, and pansexual identities. There will also be flags hung up in Baker Center along the south railing. And the couple of lights will be lit up in a rainbow as well. Sunday will also feature a community mural painting on the graffiti walls outside of Bentley Annex. Design submissions for which will be accepted until February 14th. Monday will feature a drag show in collaboration with the Campus Involvement Center and the LGBT Center. In-person tickets will be $5 each, but we'll also explore hybrid options for people who may not feel comfortable attending an event of that magnitude in person because of COVID. And in addition, we have some remaining events that include a queer movie night, a queer craft and game night, an intersectional LGBTQ+ town hall, and an afternoon social. Dates for those events will be announced next week, I hope. And if any of you have any ideas or want to collaborate, I know I've already met with some of you, and I know I have some other meetings coming up, and I love the collaboration. I would love any help, and I hope to see all of you at any of these events that you can make. I would also really appreciate if any of you could help us out on Sunday morning, putting all of those flags into the ground. And that is the end of my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Hammond.
Okay, I also have kind of a lot to say. Apologies in advance. Okay, our next Take Back Tonight full committee meeting is next Wednesday, but yesterday I met with our lovely PR team of Emily Person, Lucas, as well as Letitia, who's the graduate student Senate Women's Affairs Commissioner, and Miss Molly. And we just sort of planned out our social media campaign and made sure everyone was on the same page so we can get started.
designing that stuff. And then let me know if you're available April 7th, because that is day of. So we're going to have a little second table at the event to pass out resources, make sure everyone leaves the event feeling comfortable, as well as just having a home base for social media. Because PR Director Earl is going to have one of her photographer friends come so we can post pictures for people who aren't able to make it to the event and have snippets of the presentations and speakers that are happening. And then we're having the door decorating contest, and that is university-wide and community-wide. So the entry link will be finalized at the end of February, but the link to submit goes live at the beginning of March, and the due date is March 28th. So I'm planning a little door decorating party in our office for us and Grad Student Senate on March 20th. So we can get some pizza and snacks and decorate our door. And then I've mentioned this before, but we're making the video collage about the importance of Take Back the Night, as well as resources people can find and where to find more info about the event to sort of market it. So after GDM, let me know if you would be willing to be on camera and speak so I can write your name down. And then we can film those either during mine or Emily's office hours. And then we're having that be due March 1st, and we can sort of lead the charge for the other organizations, including Take Back the Night, to start posting their videos as well. And then we can repost them and share each other's stuff. And then, like Commissioner Cooley was saying about the graffiti walls, I talked to Kristen Eads, who I play soccer with, which is fun. And she's the sort of graffiti wall guru. She does all of the art that the university does. She's like one of their designers or something. And so I emailed her, and she's totally down to make something happen for the Take Back the Night event. So I emailed Haley Langenkugel, who came and presented for Love Yourself Week. And so hopefully we can buy her the paint and we can put our little tag on the wall and sponsor it, so we get some advertising there as well. And then she also does a bunch of graphic design, which is on her website. So I talked to Nate, and we can possibly collab on some Senate merch, because her designs are really cool, and I know LT was already planning having some new merch for us, so that'd be fun. My office hours changed, so those will be in the meeting minutes. Had some school schedule changes, and my phone number will be in there as well, just in case you need me. And then for town hall, I'm going to reach out to Mary Catherine, who's the head of the Women's Center right now since Dr. Murray left, and see if she would be available and interested in coming to that. That's it.
Thank you. Are there any other commissioner questions? Commissioner Robinson?
I hope everybody's day went super great. It's Black History Month, which, yeah. There are a number of events going on in the Multicultural Center for Black History Month, so I'm working on getting that calendar provided in the Senate office, just in case anybody wants to support or even promote the activities themselves. I'm excited to say that through our PR team, we are posting a lot of recognition for Black history, and we're spending as such. My office hours are super sporadic, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, so if there's any issue that anybody needs to contact me on, please feel free. My third group me, email, number, whichever one works for everyone, but that is the end of my report.
Thank you. Commissioner Wood?
Okay, so I'm working, our graduation is working on 3 projects right now. The first project is the Masquerade Ball fundraiser, which I have a meeting with the exec, so I'll have more information on that after I have a meeting with them. However, if you guys are affiliated with any performance groups, that is the main thing that I would need help with. So if you know any groups, I'm planning on recruiting the different international student groups that have performance groups to participate in the Masquerade Ball. The second thing is the International Student Store. I'm making a lot of progress with that this week. I've managed to get in touch with the president's team. And so right now I'm talking to legal and also discussing the location for the store. And for those of you, I don't think I've told everyone here what the store is. Essentially, international students are only allowed to work 20 hours a week per like the law of the United States. However, a lot of their jobs, especially when you're doing like TDs and research assistantships, you only have to work 15 hours. But you can't get another job that allows you to work only 5 hours. So having a store that's something like an Etsy store would allow the international students to make up that hours that they otherwise would not be able to. And then last year, we were working on getting paid parking passes, just because I think just like teachers get free parking, I think when you are acting in the capacity of a teaching assistant, you should be allowed parking and teaching parking passes. That is something that's very important.
Are there any other commissioner requests? Commissioner Gibbs?
Alright, so like Kennedy said, my schedule is really sporadic, like every week I have different responsibilities. So mom, son, or DVD every week. So yeah, if anyone has anything, they want to bring up to me, just reach out to me. And so the semester day meeting is scheduled for Sunday, April 10th, from 2 to 6, and that's also going to be after the last weekly meeting. The application opens March 7th and closes April 8th, 5 p.m. And we're also holding semesterly funding office hours in the Senate office, and those will be Monday, March 8th, Wednesday, March 30th, and Friday, April 1st, all from 11:30 to 12:30. And there was a SAC workshop held by the CIC today for bi-weekly. That went well. There's going to be another one February 22nd, 11:30 to 12, and that'll be virtual for price documentation training. And there'll also be one Wednesday, March 16th, time TBD, either TBD, for semesterly training. And then our next bi-weekly meeting is Super Bowl Sunday, so February 13th, and every other week after that. And that's the end of my work.
Are there any other commissioner reports? Moving forward to, are there any Senate committee reports now? Vice President Curtis. Okay, I have a lot of Senate committee reports, as everyone knows. I'll start off with the Leadership Development Committee. The Leadership Development Committee's DC trip has officially been completely paid for. Everything is set. We have our reservations. We are ready to go. So I'm very excited for that, and I just wanted to really share that report because I was very excited for everything to be paid for and done. And that's the end of my report. Are there any other Senate committee reports? For the Bobcat Medal Committee, I still need 2 more people to sit on that committee. Currently, per the RFP, I don't need to write legislation to appoint anyone to this committee. So I'll just announce it to everyone. Currently, I have Commissioner DeMonte, Senator Goodman, and Commissioner Handel. The only people that can sit on this committee are voting members. So if you are a voting member, I urge you all to let me know that you want to be a part of this committee. With that, I reserve the balance. That's the end of my report for that committee. Thank you. Are there any other Senate committee reports tonight? The next committee is the Student Trustee Committee. There's currently 5 more days of the application being open. We have a really good amount of applications sent in. I'm very excited to see all this interest in being a student trustee. I've worked really hard to do some outreach for it, so I'm excited to see that. So I will send the application again in the group meeting as well as the meeting minutes, so that way you all can do some last minute advertising for student trustees. And that's the end of my report. Thank you. Are there any other Senate committee reports? Advisor Peter?
Yeah, so by Friday the latest, your Director Ertl or I will be sending out Google Form applications, and either when the members of Merit Committee or the Honorary Committee, but we'll you want to. And we just like as President Hill said, you have to be aware of their numbers.
Thank you. Are there any other Senate committee reports? Moving forward, are there any university?
On the honorary degree committee, we started meeting, so if you can think of anybody like the girl, to get an honorary degree from the university, so to recognize them for their contributions here, then be on the lookout for that form where you can fill out.
Thank you. Are there any other university committee reports? Okay, seeing none, we'll move forward. So we just want to pick a meme. And sometimes I'm the red NRF, sometimes I'm the yellow. And then the second one is just y'all be like, I'm entering my villain era and just asserting boundaries. And I said that to so many of my friends when they think they're being a bad person, but we're legit just setting boundaries. Into my report. First, I love hearing all the reports. I look forward to hearing more about all that you have planned and that you're doing. Please keep that up. It definitely gives more meat to the meetings. Like, it's great. And then also, you know, people from the Post News, and they can promote it too if they want to. Like, that's how they find out about this stuff is via the reports. So thanks, guys. And I also wanted to bring up that, you know, sometimes RMP is brought up throughout discussion during the GPMs, and this is great. We love to see the discussion. But we wanted to suggest that when we send out legislation prior to the GPMs, that if you notice it before then, communicate it with us, and then that way we can have that conversation and figure it out, and also communicate with judicial panel as well. That's their job to talk about that type of thing. That will lead to GPMs going more efficient and smooth. And we will really appreciate that. And then, please sign up for tabling. It begins officially on Monday. I'll make sure the sign-up sheet is in the minutes. And also, I meet with President Sherman on Friday, so please come up to me after or email me with anything that you would like for me to talk to him about. And that is the end of my report. So the two, I think the first one, I made on like Photoshop on my phone about an hour ago because I had not eaten anything all day and I was very stressed out, and President Yvonne gave me some apple slices that she got. And it really just revived me, put me in a better mood. So I was very thankful for that. And the second one, I just thought it was funny. I think British accents are funny. As far as my report goes, I just wanted to say that I had all my one-on-ones this past week. They're very insightful, and as you've heard from everyone's commission reports, there are a lot of good plans and events going on, so very excited to attend those and to just see everyone working so hard on everything that they're passionate about. Additionally, if anyone has any questions or concerns regarding the rules and procedures, I ask that you please refer to the judicial panel. They have the final decision on how it's interpreted, and they should be a resource. All of them are so amazing. They're approachable, and they're always very available if you need anything. So please use them as a resource. That's what they're here for. I have all of the cabinet meetings next week. Look for calendar invites, all of my commissioners to like that. And also, I wanted to say that as a leadership team, we're also working very, very hard for all of you. The last leadership team meeting we had was over 2 hours long. And it was all of us just absolutely working the entire time. We want to see you all be the best leaders that you can be, and we want to serve you in the best way possible. So I just wanted to, we worked so hard, it was proud of us of doing everything, so I just wanted to share that with everyone. And finally, with what Dr. Hogan stated at Ernie's presentation about the leadership development program that the university is putting on, almost, I believe everyone on the leadership team has already RSVP'd to be there, so we will all be there. So I encourage you all, especially those in the leadership development committee, to attend that as well. And that is the end of my report.
Hello, I'm currently treasurer call Kat for the night, and she did not send us a name because she is currently on a school trip, so I put this picture of a plane, but she did have to fly there. I'm not sure where she is, but
Austin.
I think the plane is funny.
Austin, Texas.
she's in Austin, Texas, so obviously she had to fly because that would be way too long of a drive. But essentially, she just told me to ask Commissioner BH for semesterly office hours, which she already reported in her commissioner report, and it'll be in the meeting minutes, and that semesterly hours are on Bobcat Count. So with that, we're going to go into the numbers. Bear with me for a second. Math is not my Strong student, okay. So Senate total is $63,029.71. Allocated not spent, $1,324.35. Not allocated nor spent, $61,705.36. Stack total, $259,639.18. Spot, $40,058.12. U Fund, $259,639.18. These numbers are true and accurate to the best of my knowledge. And with that, that's the number. So this is my slide, my meme. I have just a lot going on in my life right now, so I just thought it would be a nice reminder that a lot of us have a lot going on in our lives right now, and to just be nice to one another. We are all students. We all have issues happening and going on right now, so just be reminded of that when talking to each other, and remember Senator Goodman's letter about respect and being respectful to each other when talking to each other, especially during general body meetings, outside of GBMs, email, text, whatever you name it, just be respectful. On to my report. Please make sure that you're clocking your office hours. If you're unsure how to clock them, please reach out to me. Katie, I'm gonna send you an email that has everything outlined for you, so you won't have to worry. And your office hours also won't start until next week. And then just a reminder, commissioners have 5 hours every week, senators have 4, vice commissioners have 2. So yes, and if you haven't done so already, email me your office hours. I know some of you are a little like TBD week to week, but if there's kind of just 1 hour that's a little consistent from week to week, just send me that one, and we can work around everything else, and I'll just put a by appointment on the other side so that our constituents can just know. There's also a random Mac charger that's in the office by the little round table with the nice green chairs. Okay, that's mine. That's yours. Okay, I just thought I'd let everyone know in case you're missing one, it's there. Me and graduate assistant Padilla ordered office supplies today out of my discretionary, and I just want to be transparent with you all. We ordered tissues and Post-it notes. So in case you are needing tissues and Post-it notes, they will be coming by Friday. So there we go. I'm also really sorry that I haven't been able to update the name tags for individuals and get some new ones. I had a really hectic week this past week, and I will have them by the next GBM, I promise. Please email me, please email me your reports tonight. I'm going out of town on Friday night, so I won't be able to do anything this weekend. And if you go to email them to me, also CC Assistant Chief of Staff Nadia. I have her email. It is NP420119. And you can also just look up Nadia Pakazat, and it'll pop up as well on Google, not Google, sorry, Outlook. So please, you can do it right now. I really don't care if you're on your phones emailing it to me. I'd rather you do that than not send it to me tonight. So thank you so much, and be kind to yourselves this weekend. Take a minute for some self-care, and I hope you all have a great week, and I'll see you next week. That's it.
Hey guys, because it's giving. I'm so happy to hear everyone's commission reports, especially since it helps me become more aware of what's going on and how I can best promote the project. And I'm really excited to hear more from everyone. Town hall. So here we go. We're doing it March 2nd. At 7:15. We'll have a virtual attendee option, as well as we have this room reserved. However, I reserved another room in Schoonover, so that's Schoonover 145. The room will be based on how many how many students registered for the event. So I'll be sending out a Walters form, and I really hope that you guys will send that out everywhere. But look out for Outlook calendar invite soon. I wanted to wait until after this meeting before I sent that out.
If you cannot attend for a valid excuse or you have to leave early, please let me know as soon as possible so I can plan accordingly with the interactive activities I'm putting together. But there's a prize, so maybe I said too much. Announcements, previous projects, legislation, upcoming events, etc., must be submitted to me by February 23rd at 11:59 p.m. So I can ensure that all of your stuff that you want to talk about is incorporated in the presentation. It goes into the slides and you can keep the order in the agenda that I have sent. Senator Goodman provided the idea to raffle off 25 free OU tumblers. So that's really cool. I'm excited for that. Marketing, so the way that I'm planning on pushing this is through the newsletter, which goes out to 24,000 students. TVs, the flyers, and the big banners in Shaker, which I, I'm really excited about. I'll have Carson work up on all that. Flyers you all can help pass out and put up, perhaps. All of you talking about how excited you are for this event with your peers and senators interacting with the deans and the colleges. As for the newsletter, which I just said 24,000 students, that's everyone. I'll be reaching out to you guys via email next week about what I need from you, but basically commissioners save your reports so that I can just kind of structure them into there. And then if you have surveys that you want to be sent out to everyone, let me know about that as well. But I'll get more information on as well. The Senate podcast is coming back. I haven't recorded anything yet because it's been kind of a hectic week. But if you haven't signed up to be a co-host yet, please do so. It doesn't have to be a one-on-one either. It can be like with a couple of you talking about topics that you've been working on together and everything. And I'll also be looking at reaching out to other organizations on campus, other people with Happen, and administration. I had a meeting with Commissioner Handel, and we discussed PR logistics for Take Back the Night, which is on April 7th. So we're really excited about that event going on. I also had a meeting with Commissioner Robinson regarding PR logistics for Black History Month, for which the PR team has already produced content for, and they are in the process of posting periodically throughout the month. My email, phone number, and office hours will be in the minutes. And that's it, my report.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
1 second, Hannah.
Okay.
Hang on, I'm gonna mute this and then turn on my laptop because
Okay. Can you hear me?
yes.
Okay. Hello, everybody. So I just have a few quick announcements for judicial panel. Nothing too extreme. So first of all, thank you to everybody who came to the election information session on Monday. I wish I could have seen a few more of you there, but it's okay. If you weren't able to make it, we do have the presentation uploaded to our Bobcat Connect page. So it's some PowerPoint slides. And if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to the judicial panel. I'll make sure that our email is in the meeting notes. And we're working on getting the video of the presentation uploaded. I'm just having some technical issues, so that should be done soon, though. But yeah, so with elections, we had that info session. Most of the information was already in the election handbook. But if you do have any questions, like I said, please don't be afraid to reach out to us. Applications for candidacy opened this week, so make sure you check those out. And if you have any questions about that, go ahead and ask us, or you could reach out to me. And then also, just please remember to be polite and kind to each other with this election season coming up. We really want to avoid drama if we can. Just remember to be professional. You are representing all other Bobcats, so this is really important. Yeah, and that's the end of my report.
So sorry.
That's me. I mean, that's not me. That's my. I'm not a memes person. I watch them, I look at them, but sort of ends there. So I thought I'd share with you a photo of my little grandbaby. That's Finny Mae rocking out Halloween in Athens. So, and given that I had a presentation, I don't really have anything additional to add as a report. Thank you.
Yeah, that's exactly how I'm feeling right now, and I feel like we're all feeling it. Relatable. Anyway, okay, so as Dr. Hogan mentioned in his presentation, Chad Barnhart is going to be the new advisor of the Senate. I just want to let you all know that I did talk to him earlier today, and I do have experience working with Chad because my studentship is part of the student office. And he's super excited about this opportunity. He has advised Senate before, so he knows what he's doing. He's very reliable, and he's very entertaining, and so much fun, and he's very approachable, and I can't wait to meet him. As Dr. Hogan said, he couldn't make it tonight, but he will be here starting next week to introduce himself, and he is super excited to get to know all of you. And as for the second part of my report, so it is my duty to remain unbiased in situations, but as a trusted colleague once told me, there's a difference between being unbiased and actually pointing out what is wrong. It has been brought to my attention multiple times that behavior in Senate has reached new lows, and the environment has not been respectful and equitable. We are in our second semester, and I should not have to remind you all to maintain a comfortable and approachable environment. We may have different roles that carry out different levels of authority and power, but we need to be fair and equal to every single member that's in here. And this is not a single person issue, this is a whole organizational issue, and I am more than concerned. We do not benefit from people having a I am better than everyone mindset. And if you have an issue with someone's performance, a certain situation, or literally anything else, you need to take the time to understand what's happening. Dr. McStee taught me a very valuable lesson that you need to seek first to understand. The environment is becoming hostile because the lack of communication skills shown in people's actions. We are getting new members on a regular basis, and we don't want them to believe that we're hard to work with. Counting this month, we have 3 months to maintain a solidified work environment, which is kind of sad because some of us are going to be leaving soon, but still we have 3 months. And related to what is going on and kind of bouncing off of what Chief Justice Fleming said, I know elections are coming up, so I want to remind those interested in running that you can still be competitors and still be respectful. There is no benefit in creating unnecessary problems just to feel like you're getting ahead. I know the ability to be respectful and equitable is in all of you, and you never fail to impress me with your drive and your self-motivation, but you are failing to be approachable and respectful right now. You are adults, so start acting like it and be the trusted liaison that you preach you are to the students of Ohio University. And with that, that is the end of my report.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move. Second.
We're just going to adjourn. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? We're adjourned.
Katie?